Hello and welcome back to the SIPStream tutorial videos. Today we're going to look at 4 more basic functions that you might be interested in activating when you first get your new SIPStream telephone system. We're going to look at adding directory entries, music on hold, changing your calling line identity presentation, and adding a new DDI to your extension. So first of all, let's log in the normal fashion through the SIPStream portal, which we may have accessed via the Multidata website. Now you may recall that you will see both supervisory and administrator screens in these videos. Ordinarily you will only see one or the other. The first thing we want to look at is adding directory entries, and as it happens we have that capability from both the supervisor's point of view and the administrator's point of view. Now a directory is not specific to your phone, it's actually a company-wide directory, so any phone that happens to be on your system can use this directory. Now in its simplest form we just add a new entry. We give it a name. Let's say that we deal on a regular basis with Sainsbury's supermarket, for example, and the number that we use to call them is their Birmingham office, 01213459983. Now what type of number is that? This is fairly arbitrary, but it's nice to add a definition. I'm going to say that is their main switchboard number. And now you have the option of either selecting a speed dial or not. Now if you don't select a speed dial, that number will be in your directory for the purposes of recognising it when a call comes in from this number. So if Sainsbury's call in on 01213459983 and it's in your directory, it will be picked up and displayed on your screen so that you know that Sainsbury's are calling you and you can answer the phone in the appropriate manner. But what is quite useful is to allocate a speed dial to this number. So if I select 300 as an example, I now have in my company directory a speed dial for Sainsbury's. So no matter how many phones are in the system, it could be 1, it could be 100. Pick up any one of those phones, dial 300, and it will call the Sainsbury's number. Now if you have a lot of numbers, you can import them as a CSV file. Keep that on your desktop, find it by choosing the file, hit the next button, and you can update your directory that way. That's if you have a lot of numbers. And if you want to store them somewhere safe on your desktop once you've imported them, just in case anything goes wrong, then again you can export your directory as a CSV or as a text file. And what I find quite useful once you've built up this list of speed dials, and I'll just add another one now. Let's presume we deal also with Sainsbury's competitor Tesco's at the London number of that. We'll allocate that to speed dial 301. Boom, we've done that. Now we've got 2 numbers in our directory. What is a good idea is to cut and paste your directory onto a sheet of paper, print it out using Word or Publisher or whatever, and give it to every member of staff to pin up on their notice board. So that is your directory. Let's look now at music on hold, which is an administrative function. So we'll scroll down to music on hold. Now music on hold basically is what people will hear if, having called into your office, the call then needs to be transferred, but in the meantime you put them on hold by pressing the hold button on your phone. What they will hear is the music that you've uploaded to this section, or even better, pre-recorded advertising messages telling the caller about the services and products that you offer. Now, having decided to switch music on hold on, you have a choice of either sequential or random, which will only actually apply if you've got more than one recorded announcement or advertisement or more than one set of music. Now if you want to add another one, you can see that we've already got one stored here with a unique file number. If you want to add a new music file, it will need to be an MP3 file or a WAV file up to 10 megabytes. So basically you would choose the file by looking on your desktop or in a folder and then hit the next button to upload it, and it will appear next to the other ones that you've already uploaded. As you can see, I've got empty here because I've told the system I'm uploading a file, but I didn't actually upload anything. So that is Music on Hold. Very simple, very effective, nice to have. The music, by the way, if it's MP3 or WAV, does need to be copyright free. And if you're interested, we do have a number of files that you can purchase from us. Even better, if you want to have advertising messages, we have a flat fee for recording 100 words of advertising with a professional voiceover artist. Okay, next we want to look at changing a CLI presentation. That's calling line identity. This is what is displayed when you make an outgoing call from your phone. So I think we'll have a look at George today for a change. We'll look at not how he's set up, but we'll go straight to editing George's extension. And we'll scroll down to this section here, CLI, calling line identity. At the moment, if George makes an outgoing call, it will display 674767. However, if we would prefer that he displayed, I think that's a Bristol number, if we want him to display that, we select it from the drop down list, we add it, and then so that it's the only number that will be presented, we delete the existing one. And of course what we must do always is to click the next button to ensure that that change has been implemented. So George now has a new CLI when he calls out. Sometimes you will want to display the CLI of your DDI. Other times it might be that you want to display the group number of your company, so that if anybody misses a call from you and they can see a call missed on their screen, the number that they dial back to is not the DDI on your desk, but the office switchboard. So that's adding a CLI. Now, just out of interest, you can have more than one CLI. In fact, you can have virtually as many as you want. And the question is, how do you select a different CLI to present when you call out? Well, that is a function of the star codes, which we'll deal with in a later video. But these are star codes that you use on your phone to carry out a number of functions. And depending on which star code you use, will choose which of these CLIs will be displayed when you make an outgoing call. So finally, while we're in this screen, we may as well look at adding a new DDI. This is the number that people can call to make your phone ring. So at the moment, if anybody rings 01793 674 767, it will ring George's phone. But George can also have an 0844 number. George can also have a London number, and so forth. So any one of those three numbers, if they're dialed, it will ring the phone on George's desk, but of course only if we hit the next button to implement the change. So there we are. That's 4 basic functions: adding directory entries, music on hold, changing CLI presentation, and adding an additional DDI. Thank you for listening. And